Okay, so imagine you're trying to speed up your computer by tilting your monitor at this perfect 45-degree angle.
Right, it makes zero sense.
Exactly. I mean, the hardware position shouldn't change the software. But in meditation, changing the exact angle of your fingers might actually do exactly that.
It really sounds counterintuitive because,
Yeah.
we usually assume meditation is entirely a mental exercise,
Right.
just something that happens purely inside your head.
Yeah. Okay, let's unpack this. Welcome to today's deep dive. Today, we're exploring a really specific hand gesture called the DYAN Mudra. Our guide for this is the work of Osman, an energy healer and entrepreneur who is known as the blind Muslim yogi. And our mission today is to figure out the mechanics and the surprising power of this gesture.
Yeah.
Because it sounds like a spiritual cheat code, but even the teacher with 50 years of experience thought it was like hocus pocus initially.
He really did. I
Yeah.
mean, he thought it was just a massive time-wasting practice at first.
Which is crazy to think about. So before we get into the mental benefits, we need to understand the physical posture and why it often feels a bit silly to beginners. You basically rest your hands on your thighs, palms facing upward.
Right, and then you lightly touch the tips of your thumb and index finger together.
Yeah, while keeping the other three fingers completely outstretched. And critically, your hands have to remain entirely relaxed. But see, I struggle with this concept.
How so?
Well, if the entire goal of meditation is to clear your mind and detach, doesn't forcing a posture like that just create another physical distraction? Like Osman himself used to just sit with his hands comfortably clasped, which honestly seems way more natural to me.
It does seem more natural. And what's fascinating here is that that's exactly why Osman dismissed it early on. But what changed his perspective over those 5 decades is realizing that the mind and body are really a two-way street.
Okay, a two-way street, meaning?
Well, usually we use our minds to control our bodies, right?
Yeah.
But as you go deeper into meditation, your body naturally wants to kind of slacken or slouch.
Right.
So by setting a very specific, relaxed physical anchor, you are actually using your body to stabilize your mind.
I get it. It keeps you physically grounded when your mental state starts to drift off.
Exactly. But the reason to push past that initial awkwardness isn't just ancient tradition. Osman discovered that adopting this mudra actually pushes the brain toward the theta level of brainwaves.
Here's where it gets really interesting. Because how does touching your index finger to your thumb actually change what your brain is doing?
So it comes down to somatosensory feedback. That's basically the physical signals your body sends back up to your brain. Your fingers have incredibly high concentrations of nerve endings.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So when you consciously hold that delicate connection between the thumb and index finger, you are sending a continuous, subtle signal of focused stillness right to your nervous system.
So it's almost like, I don't know, like setting a physical parking brake for your nervous system.
That is a great way to look at it. Over time, that specific nerve feedback becomes a conditioned trigger.
It's like muscle memory. You are building a bodily shortcut to the theta state.
Exactly. Your brain literally associates that exact physical feeling with shifting into those theta frequencies.
And just to clarify for everyone listening, the theta state is that sort of twilight zone you hit right before you fall asleep. You're deeply relaxed, deeply intuitive, but still totally conscious.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And if we connect this to the bigger picture for beginners,
Yeah.
getting into that theta state usually feels like a really frustrating struggle for focus.
Oh, absolutely.
But mastering the DYAN Mudra acts as this biofeedback loop. It transforms meditation from a struggle into an automatic trigger for deep relaxation. It makes it so much easier to become aware of what Osman calls subtle energies.
Right, those really faint, quiet sensations in your body that you usually just drown out with stress or overthinking.
Yeah, exactly. It accelerates that whole journey for a beginner.
Okay, so we have the mechanism down. But implementing this doesn't mean you have to retreat to a monastery. What's so intriguing about Osman's approach is the incredibly low barrier to entry here.
It really is.
So what does this all mean for you, the listener? Well, Osman insists on making this a non-negotiable practice for just 2 minutes a day. Anyone can carve out 2 minutes, right? It's just a scientifically proven value add to your life to see if this physical anchor changes your mental state.
Right. Just 2 minutes. Because the value here isn't in some grueling hour-long session. It's the cumulative timeline. Osman notes that if you just hold this mudra for 2 minutes every single day, you start seeing a massive shift over 6 to 12 months.
Consistency over intensity.
Exactly.
And he emphasizes that the benefits deepen significantly around the 2-year mark.
Yeah, and by year 5, Osman explicitly promises, and I quote, "You're going to thank me."
That is wild.
It really shifts the pressure off of having to be, good at meditation today. It places the focus entirely on just showing up for those 2 minutes.
So to wrap this up, the DYAN Mudra, resting your palms up, thumb and index finger lightly touching, isn't just a symbolic tradition. It is a physical biofeedback tool designed to cue your nervous system into that deeply relaxed theta state, all built around a simple 2-minute daily habit. And if you want to explore more of Osman's insights and resources on this, you can find them at yogawellness786.com.
This raises an important question, though. If a simple conscious hand gesture can physically cue a shift in your brainwaves over time, what other unconscious physical habits are currently shaping your state of mind without you even realizing it?